Which camera are we going first?
Just the wide, yep.
Just the two? Okay.
The wide one, yep.
The wide.
We are live.
Let's see. It's weird when you can't see yourself. We're live right now?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm Reef Fetters, and we are here in Tacoma Rising's first Uncut Live podcast. And we have a really special guest, Mayor Victoria Woodards. Thank you for coming. Holy cow.
Thank you for having me in the first live.
This is the first live.
Oh my goodness. Well, you can only go up from here.
It's normally we record them, so it just goes, and there's a more of a schedule. I don't have one tonight.
Okay.
We've got some questions we're going to ask.
Okay.
But what we're doing a little differently here is as soon as we get, I'm going to put us up there so we can see what we're looking at here. But let me jump back in real quick, and that's not it. Are we? Is it up right now, Q?
Yep, we're live.
We got any people tuned in?
Nope, just me.
Just you?
Thank God.
All right.
Well, hello, everybody.
We're
All of our fans.
all of our fans. So what we're gonna do tonight? I don't know why we can't see the live out here, but we're gonna try
love that
again.
you have-
Play. What?
The power's out at TMOV.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, the storm.
It's pretty windy and rainy out there.
It really is. All right, well, we're still recording this, so why don't we just get into it? So we're trying something new this time, and I don't know if you've seen our podcast in the past, but we have multiple cameras in here, and we have a script, and we're going off script tonight.
Okay.
We've got Emily Meyer here with J Squared.
Emily.
And we got Quentin Davis in the control room back there.
Emily and Quentin.
And he's got a camera back there too. So we're going to start with some questions, and we're just going to go with it. And since we can't see ourselves, but we're
I was going
hoping...
to say, because I don't know what I look like.
You
I
look
don't know if I'm smushed back.
You
I don't
look
know if I'm
fantastic.
smushed in the couch.
No,
It's-
it's good. We'd tell you.
we would definitely tell you.
Thank you.
But
Appreciate you guys.
I think Emily wanted to start off with a question tonight.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to start with your first question while I get this ready?
I would love to.
Okay.
Okay, so the big one. As you leave office, do you already know who's getting the next keys to the city, or is it still top secret? And also, follow-up question, how does one earn that kind of honor in your book?
So, I don't have plans at this point to actually grant another key to the city. Although, as I get into my final days, if I think of someone who's deserving, I will get it done. But it really depends. And keys to the city is what the mayor gets to decide. It's the one decision the mayor can make all by themselves, and only the mayor gets to decide who gets a key to the city. So, I've given it to different people over the years. Most recently, I gave a key to the city to Lua Pritchard, who has been, and if you don't know Lua, she's been a very active person in our community. She's been a great leader. She led KWA, Korean Women's Association. Then she moved over to Asia Pacific Cultural Center. They just opened a brand new building on South Tacoma Way.
On South Tacoma
On
Way?
South Tacoma Way, that new Asia Pacific Cultural Center, brand new building. And it is beautiful. They also, earlier this year, opened Patsy Sir O'Connell, which is an affordable housing apartment building that is over by Lincoln High School. So she's just done so many things over the years. And it was her 70th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And so given her commitment to Tacoma and all the work that she's done, I thought it was fitting to give her a key to the city. And it's interesting, I gave her the last key, I think, at least publicly, as our mayor. The first key to the city I gave was to an incredible leader who came from Evergreen State College, and I gave it to her on her 90th birthday.
Oh, wow.
So, so it depends. Over the years, I've given it to different people for different reasons, but it really is about someone making a commitment to Tacoma and showing that commitment. In some cases, it's been people who are from here but have gone on to do great things across the globe. In other instances, it's just a hometown person from Tacoma who's just been committed to this community. So
Aw, amazing. And I love that the two people you gave it to, one was 70 and one was 90, which shows that if you think you're too old to make an impact, you're not.
absolutely not. And I will say, I've given it to a young person as well. So you don't have to wait till you're 70 or 90 to get a
you're
key
not
to
too
the
young
city.
either.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, we witnessed one of your keys.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna say his name incorrectly.
I just say the mayor of Biot.
Biot.
Jean Paul. No, not Jean Paul. Oh, see, now I've forgotten his name. But yeah, the mayor of Biot, France.
Yes.
Our sister city. Got a key to the city.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That day was just spectacular. And that was actually the first time I think we've actually gotten a chance to sit down and talk to you and have an actual real conversation.
That was the first time we met.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a really good time, and just really appreciative that we got the opportunity to show the mayor of Biot more of Tacoma.
It's different from the water.
It is way different from the water. And I've got to say, the person I gave the key to at 90 was Dr. Maxine Mims. And she was a huge icon in Tacoma.
Wow, that's cool.
I've got a question. So when you give the keys to the city, like what exactly is happening for us normal people? Like what's the process and what does that really
What does it unlock? That's what I think Quentin's
What
asking
does
right
it
now.
unlock?
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Nothing. It is a symbolic. It's a big key. It's probably about this big. And it comes in this beautiful wood box. And so presenting it to someone, again, is just, it's probably in the city one of the highest recognitions one could get for their work or commitment to a city. I've had lots of people ask me for keys to the city, and I wish I could give everyone a key to the city.
They've asked you for it? I feel like that's a
Oh,
little.
people have asked me for keys to the city. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, there goes your first question.
It was. I was going to end on that one.
Well, can you get a key to the city?
I was not going to ask that. I was hoping it was just going to happen, but no, I'm
never
teasing.
know.
No, I'm totally kidding. I just think that's like asking for a trophy almost. Like, hey, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Like, I'm sure people have earned it. I think it's more for me. It'd be more fun to someone recognized it and offered it to you.
It's been a surprise to most people who get them. And I like it. And I like it.
I think it's the way it should be.
The reality is that people aren't doing this work for a key to the city.
Right.
They're doing this work because they want to make the city better. And the key to the city allows, or they want to make the world better, or you know what. But the key to the city allows us to recognize that contribution in a way that is bigger than a proclamation, and that is incredibly meaningful to the person who receives it.
Well, you bring up a really good point there. Going back 8 years ago, well, probably longer, what made you want to run for mayor? What made you want to be the mayor? What was that piece inside? Was it to make Tacoma better? Was it? I'm sure there's a lot of things, but is there one thing that sticks out? And do you feel like you accomplished it, and you feel like you're not going off into the sunset? We're keeping you here. We'll get into what's next, but what got you started?
I am a person of faith, and that is no secret to anybody who knows me. And I'm a person who prays, and I'm a person who believes that we are guided in ways that tell us where our next steps should be. And it has been that way for me for every elected office I've run for. I've had some sign or something that happens, right, that says, okay, you're supposed to do this. But for mayor, people were talking to me about running. And much like every time I get asked to run, I go, yeah, no, I don't think I can do that. It just all these, yeah, no, I don't think so. And I've been thinking about it. And I'll be honest, here in Tacoma, and then the election happened, the election for president. That was Trump the first time. And when Trump got elected, I remember being here in Tacoma at a celebration, election night celebration, and I had to fly. I got on a plane that night to fly back to DC for something I was participating in. And when I landed that morning in D.C. and completely understood the outcome of the federal election, I said to myself, well, there is my answer. I will not be able to control what happens on the federal stage or the national stage, but if I run for mayor, I can work hard to make sure that my community, I may not be able to control that, but I can participate in my local, in my city. And that really was the push that said, run. And that's what got me to run. Now, when you run, you have lots of plans of what you think you're going to do. And then there are things like COVID, that you would have never been able to plan for. So the simple thing I said to myself when I ran, my ultimate goal, although I ran on 3 points and had all this stuff I wanted to do, but the simple question I ask myself is, what am I going to do today, or what can I do to make this community better for the people who live in it? And I didn't get to check everything off my checklist of all the things I wanted to do. I wanted to solve homelessness. I wanted to make sure that, that young people were never killed again in this community with a gun. I mean, there were so many things. I wanted to make Tacoma more affordable. I wanted to make sure everybody had a good paying job. I mean, that's what we all sign up to do. But you get to work on those things, but a lot of things that happen in the city are things that are out of your control. And so that one question in every situation works. Whether it's COVID, whether it is the racial uprising that happened across the country and here in Tacoma, whether it is cuts in government funding or budget deficits, even in those moments, the one question I can always ask myself is, what can I do today to make Tacoma a better place for the people who live here?
That's great. I love that response to the outcome of the election, because a lot of people went the other direction. They took a step back. Yeah. And they became disenfranchised and kind of threw their hands up, and they were like, I'm done. Yep. Not my president. But you stepped forward and you were, I'm going to take action instead of stepping back. And
you can't, I tell people, a lot of people come and complain a lot. And I said, I can listen to complaints, but bring me a solution. We don't know it all, and the idea in the most challenging times, I know even now it feels like we can't overcome a lot of things, so it's like I just don't even want to try. Well, if you don't try, you're doomed to live with whatever happens. So you got to be able to invest something to make a change and do what you can. You don't have to do everything, but do the piece that you can do.
Yeah. I have a follow-up. Do you mind if I ask a follow-up question?
Well, let me answer a question that we had up earlier. Becca Lambert came in and asked, she said, it's my birthday this weekend. Can I borrow a key to the city? We lost it, but it was up there. I saw it pop up.
I love that. Borrow a key to the city. The problem is that I don't know what you would do with a borrowed key.
I don't either.
You can't unlock the door.
You just clip it on your purse and walk around.
Carried around. I got a key to the city for the weekend. And everybody's going to go, take us to the city.
That's funny. But yes, please go to your follow-up question. I just want to answer the one we did get.
Well, I'm hogging all the question time, but
no, go ahead.
You touched on, during COVID, the racial uprising that happened. I lived here then, but I came from Portland, and we had protests and we had marches here, but we didn't have the rioting and the destruction and the property damage that Seattle and Portland had. Yeah. I have an idea. I have my own theory, but what do you attribute that to?
Tacomans, people who are from Tacoma. I was just somewhere talking to a group of mayors, and I was kind of explaining where Tacoma was and saying that we are between Seattle and Portland. Actually, I think I said Seattle's a suburb of Tacoma, but and the Seattle mayor was in the audience. Sure. But I said Tacoma really has its own way of doing things. And I will tell you, during even some of those protests, people from Seattle tried to come down. It was people from Tacoma who backed them up and pushed them back and said, you're not going to come destroy our city. Right. Yeah. I also think it is how, I don't want to say how we support protests, but our police officers aren't blocking places for people to be able to protest. Our police are moving cars out of the way, making sure they're not, they're making sure that the protesters are safe. And so it's a completely different mindset here. And it's really funny because I don't know, someone told me, someone posted or they read somewhere that, a person came down from Seattle to Tacoma and said, wow, in Seattle, that's what they actually said. In Seattle, they're blocking you from getting places. In Tacoma, they're making sure you get where you're going safely. And even they felt the difference in Tacoma. The couple of times there were a few windows broken out, it was not by people of Tacoma. It was by people who came from outside into our community. Tacoma understands that we have to use our voices. That protest can be very necessary in certain situations, but we also know that we also understand that we can do that without destroying our city. We can make our voices heard and our thoughts known without breaking a window or burning down a building or doing those kinds of things. So I think it's the people who live here that make it different.
Yeah.
What were what did you attribute it to?
Well, something similar to what you were saying. My amateur analysis of it was that if you're here in Tacoma, you're either here because you've grown up here and it's your town. Yep. And I think there's a more transient population in Seattle and Portland. So I think that people are more willing to tear things down with their hands that they didn't see built or they don't know. They didn't go there,
They don't have an
their grandma
appreciation
didn't
for
take
it.
them there for breakfast. And so I think that a lot of people in Tacoma that participated in the protests are from Tacoma. Yeah. And they didn't want to tear down their town.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the difference too is that a lot of corporate businesses own Seattle, as in the stores, and the people that work there. That's not their place. That's just the place they work. But in Tacoma, that's their lives. Yeah. That storefront, that building, that's them. They put all that blood, sweat, and tear, and they're the ones that are coming to protect and to be there. And I think that's a much harder thing to disrupt than the corporations and things that people. And the other thing is too, people go to those if they are doing damage and doing things and they're wanting to make a point. Those are more symbolic targets, the big corporate, than the small town too. I think there's a lot of things that play into it, and but I think it's that it's a small town, it's a small business community. This is what Tacoma is, and I think there's a lot more heart here with that, which is great because it's easier to grow a city like Tacoma in the right way.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of which, we were talking about Seattle a little bit. I'm going to jump in with a question more about business because Tacoma Rising, we're here to help build the business community. And there's a lot of things that come with that. And we think with a strong business community, there's a lot of things we can do with that. And that being said, with Seattle's election, the way that it went, and not to put politics in there, but there's more of a socialistic kind of mindset. Do you think that's going to impact Seattle business in a way that it's going to potentially have businesses leave that might come this way, which would be great for us because I love welcoming new businesses in here? Absolutely. Or do you think that it won't interrupt and Seattle is going to kind of maintain that path?
I'm not sure. Every time the new leader comes into place, people say lots of things about what's going to happen in the community, especially based on what they ran on or what they said or what people think about that person. And then that person gets in office and it's different. But the one thing I would say, and the one thing I would say that I think is really important for us to remember, and I know there's this rivalry kind of between Seattle and Tacoma, but the reality is that Seattle's not our competition. Right, Seattle. Right. If there is a business in Seattle, the likelihood of them moving their corporate headquarters to Tacoma is probably pretty small. I don't see Weyerhaeuser leaving Seattle and coming back to Tacoma where they started from, right? And that is one thing I challenge us as a community. We are a region. And so even if Seattle does lose someone, a lot of those employees who used to live in Seattle now live in Tacoma. So it does affect Tacoma, but I would say, our competition is the Atlanta region or the Sacramento region or the South Bend region or the Phoenix region, right? All of these people have these who are working together regionally like we've been trying to do. And I think that's where our benefit comes from. My fear is not that somebody leaves Seattle and comes to Tacoma. My fear is that somebody leaves Seattle and the supporting businesses that are in Tacoma lose business and therefore leave Tacoma. But I think as Seattle grows, so does Tacoma, so does Everett, right? And so that's why when I first got elected and heard about Greater Seattle Partners, that it wasn't named at the time, but former Governor Christine Gregoire was really working on this regional approach. And I've been a member of what's called GSP, Greater Seattle Partners, since its inception, making sure that we are working together as a region. And it's not about stealing business from Everett or Bellevue. It's about stealing a company from Sacramento or Phoenix or San Diego. That's where we want businesses to come from, to come here so that our whole region is growing. So is there opportunity? There might be some, but people who move to Seattle want to be in that environment. That's not Tacoma, right? And so I always tell people, we grew Frank Russell out of Tacoma. We grew Weyerhaeuser out of Tacoma. Let's be the city that grows up the next Frank Russell or the next Weyerhaeuser. Let us be that city. Or let us be, okay, Amazon, you can stay in Seattle, but a good portion of your employees work in Tacoma. Open up a branch in Tacoma so your employees don't have to travel all the way to Seattle. Right. I mean, so that's how I kind of look at economic development as it relates to Seattle. But if there are businesses who are interested, please come. But I don't think that's where we spend our energy. That's not where we get the biggest bang for our buck in trying to recruit more companies to Tacoma.
I think we are a satellite town. When you're a hub and spoke. Yeah. So when you think of hub and spoke, hub is going to be Seattle, we're spoke. And that's how Tacoma has been forever. Yeah. And I do agree that there's historically been a chip on the shoulder of Tacoma not wanting to be Seattle. I'm not saying that's today, but that's historically.
Oh, I think that still exists today. We want to be Tacoma.
I do. I agree with that. But I don't want to, I don't want it to feel like that's the blanket statement that I'm throwing out. But I feel that way. But one thing we talk about when people are looking at, Seattle versus Tacoma, you make a great point. A large headquarters, they're not coming here. Yeah. They're going to head into more corporate friendly Bellevue or Seattle. But what I think Tacoma can be and should be is an area, a region of Seattle, a submarket of Seattle that they can't deny.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
And we don't need a 100,000 square feet tenant or a 200. We don't have room for a 200,000 square foot tenant, but we'll take 5 or 10,000.
Absolutely.
Bring regional, because one of the things that we're talking about, right, we've been working on this with local schools, whether it's high school and colleges. We have 7 colleges here. And we have a talent pool. Yep. And we have a lot of people that live here that work up north.
Exactly. Because we're still affordable.
That's exactly right. And so why I was asking the original question was, you're right. I don't see an Amazon leaving they're not coming here. But the small business community, I think when I look at Tacoma versus Seattle, we are a much friendlier business community for a small business by far, through real estate, education, cost of living, on and on and on. And I guess my question would be, if you're in that area, do you start to look at Tacoma more, which I think people do. Corporate, no. But what if corporate businesses, the mindset, what is going on in Tacoma? We've got to be in Tacoma.
Absolutely.
And that's an area we can play in. And I don't know that, I think we're starting to get there because we do see business. I mean, when I first got into town, it would have been 6 years ago, I was seeing a lot of general contractors coming down because of all the multifamily. The development was, through the tax credits and stuff. And I think there was 11 tower cranes when I got into town, which was so exciting. I was like, what is going on? What is in the water of Tacoma? And since then, we've had a lot of things that kind of gone the other way, but still, we're still growing. And I feel that we have our toast to 2025, which is our end of the year for Tacoma Rising, our award ceremony, and where we're giving out awards, hence award ceremony. But we have a fireside chat with Michael Katzey and Tanya Carter, and the whole topic is, how do we position Tacoma to be the #1 place to do business in the Puget Sound?
Yes.
Now, we know that there's companies won't look here because we don't have the infrastructure, but what do we need to do to where they do?
Yeah.
Like, what are those steps? And again, I went off on the business side, but
No, it's okay.
as that you've been at the helm for 8 years, and you've seen a lot of things shift, and COVID did not help.
No.
But since I've been here, I feel like we have seen a lot of really, really great things in the last several years, and it's been fun to watch those things. And the point with Seattle is that I hope it works out great, and they've got a plan. But when you get into office, the plan you had is not usually the plan that goes, and
not at all,
not even close. And so it is exciting to watch. But you mentioned Greater Seattle Partners. They've been down here several times. Actually, they're going to be on the podcast here in January to talk about the regional, just what's going on. And I think those organizations working together, because they cover a lot of ground, and I think you nailed it, that instead of thinking about Tacoma separately, let's look at it as more of a region. And I think that's a really good way to put it, as in, I love being competitive here, and I love to get more businesses in here too.
Absolutely.
But leveraging not only Seattle but Tacoma together, and Everett, like you mentioned.
It was like you fly in and you think Seattle, and you take a right when you get on I-5, and you end up in Tacoma. Go, why didn't I think about this?
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned it. I just want to pile on just real quickly. You talked about some of the things that were more affordable. You talked about schools. We boast an over 91% graduation rate. I mean, we've got award-winning parks, right? It's like what I say when I'm pitching Tacoma. And when I talk about Tacoma, I always say, sure, if you want to go to Seattle, go to Seattle. If you want to go to Everett, go to Everett. But the reality about Tacoma is, and about any business, businesses don't move to a city just because they get a good tax break. That is not just because they get free parking. They move to a city, and I mean, that could be part of the move, but they want good talent.
Yeah.
They want a quality of life for their employees and themselves. They want the city that they're in to be attractive. And I think that's where Tacoma always punches above its weight.
Yep, big time.
I mean, when you think about the museums, when you think about our waterfront, when you think about our parks, when you think about graduation rates, when you think about affordability, I mean, all of those things, when you think about how nice people are, when you think about, the business culture here, every time I talk to a developer who's moved to Tacoma, they say, I had to get out. I had to get out of wherever I was. Tacoma is a great place to do business. And so I think sometimes those of us who live here forget how good it is because we haven't been other places.
Yeah.
But you talk to people who are new to Tacoma and who've been other places, and they're like, oh my God, Tacoma is just so good and so easy and so all of these great things. So I think we have to be better at telling our story.
That is one of the things we've been harping on. Yeah. The whole Tacoma Rising piece was about changing the message for Tacoma in a way that, I mean, the Tacoma aroma and some of the things historically, it's gone.
Yeah,
like,
it is. But if you smell something come into Tacoma, people always say the Tacoma aroma is back. Like, it could have been a car that backfired. It could have been.
Yeah. It's entirely different. And I think the message behind Tacoma, one of the three, we do a challenge every year where we took a bunch of the local colleges or college students and we put them with local businesses, and we do a workshop for the day. We did that in April. We're going to do it again this coming April. 3 weeks ago, we took a bunch of TPS and Annie Wright Bellarmine students. So I think we had 25 here, and we took 10 local entrepreneurs and we paired them up into 5 teams, and they spent 4 hours building business plans, and they competed to see who would win. And the reason we did that, the Kickstarter, we call it the Kickstarter. The reason we did that is because after the challenge, we were in the mindset that we have to start promoting our local schools at some level. We all need to talk about it. And we partnered up with the UW-T. It took a while to get there. But once we did it, we had an amazing event. 2 kids got jobs from the mentors that came in to the students. And so I just happened to be in a meeting with Josh Garcia a couple weeks later, and I had planned to be the next step is Tacoma Public Schools because we need to do some kind of workshop. And I sat down, I didn't know who he was at the time, and I was like, oh, Josh Garcia, okay, great. And he said, we want to connect our students to local businesses. And I go, you know what? Funny you mention that because I want to elect it. We just did this. And so that was April. And so we did a season 2 podcast. I interviewed 10 entrepreneurs and all those entrepreneurs came in, and this was literally 3 weeks ago, and 25 students came in. The team that won had 5 TPS students and 1 Annie Wright student. And all the presentations were fantastic. And it was our way of saying, listen, a lot of these kids have incredible ideas. I mean, all the students are brilliant, and we don't realize their potential. I think we are now, but when I was in high school, when I was younger, no one was asking us questions like that, and it was so missed. And now we're taking a look at what these students can do. So between doing the Kickstarter and the challenge, we feel that it's a way that we can promote what TPS is doing. Because when Josh told me, he said, our TPS's graduating percentage in 2011 was 55%.
We were on the front page of I don't know if it was the New York Times, but one of the big New York. We're on the front page, Tacoma Dropout Factory.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
And then when everybody in Tacoma came together, business, everybody who has a vested interest in the education of our children. This is why, and the school district works so hard, but this is why we're at 91%.
And when he told me that, I was like, why are we not celebrating that? And I think that we are, but at some level, everyone heard that we were, if New York is talking about our failing, whatever, 55%, who's talking about the 92%? And we need to talk about that. And from then, so we've started working with TPS and local schools because, one, it's fun, and I love bringing people together with a mentorship, but all we're doing is just promoting what's already been happening. Right. And it's really, there's so many really good things about Tacoma, and it's overlooked. Yeah. And that maybe not within, but from the outside.
Oh no, but I think within too. I think even within we don't realize how much great stuff is happening, and we get so busy doing that we're not interested in telling our story. We want to keep doing more of what we're doing, and so that story piece gets lost. And so somebody says, well, you need to do this, and it's like, well, did you know that we already do this, this, and this? And people are like, you do? Well, why didn't I know that?
That's
that
exactly,
is what you hear more than anything.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing about how cool Tacoma is.
Yeah.
Like we do monthly events, we all sorts of things. And we have people from Seattle and Bellevue come to our events, and they're like, I had no idea this is Tacoma. And I was like, or we're like.
Well, we have people walk into the co-working space upstairs and say, I had no idea there was office space like this in Tacoma.
It is. We have to do it's amazing what people think and then what people actually don't know about a city that they live in. I can tell you, I have yet to meet someone who's come to Tacoma for the first time where they didn't say, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
I brought over 200 elected officials to Tacoma a couple years ago in the summer. And it was one of those.
That's not fair.
But it was one of those. It was like the whole time they were here, the mountain was out. Yeah. And I mean, it was like one of the best 5 days in a row for Tacoma ever. And even when I see those people now, they're like, I can't wait. I'm bringing my family to Tacoma for vacation. Like people are still excited to come back to Tacoma. And it wasn't just because the weather was good, but they went to local restaurants. They got to shop here to support our small businesses, and they got to meet people, and they were just so impressed with everything here.
Wait. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, sometimes we have a hard time finding somewhere to go out to eat after work. Because, I mean, we have a lot of restaurants in Tacoma.
Yeah.
but sometimes it's hard to get in. I guess not if you're the mayor.
No, oh no, trust me, I know.
Oh, come on. Let's just talk
When I
about
call one of my favorite restaurants, Wooden City, when I call Wooden City and I ask for a reservation, if they're full, they're full.
They tell you there's a 2 hour
this. Well, hold on. Let's just back up here. Let's talk about Wooden City. I had mentioned to Abe Fox, I said, Abe, hey, funny story. Mayor Woodards is coming in for a live podcast. And he goes, really? I said, yeah, I don't suppose you have any of that stuff that she likes. And he's like, I would love to bring in some pink drink. Is that what it's called? I don't know.
It's called the Mayor.
The Mayor.
It's called the Mayor.
It's a
the
little
Mayor.
more dignified than that.
Well, I'm sorry.
The pink drink.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that. It's called the Mayor.
It's
I
called
apologize.
the Mayor.
But my point being is that A Fox dropped everything to come and to see you, and that tells me a couple things. One is that you're well loved here by a restaurant community, and I am going to have a word with Abe about you not getting into the restaurant when you call.
Yes.
But
I still don't say, this is the mayor. Can you get me in? I'm just another community person.
Okay,
But-
so my point was, with my original question, where do you go out to eat? If you can't get into Wooden City.
Oh, that's where you're headed?
If you can't get into Wooden
my
City,
goodness.
where do you like to go out to eat? Because, I mean, sometimes it's hard. I think Tacoma needs more restaurants. I mean, we have great ones, but we need more.
But we have
we have room to grow.
I am like, so I have a couple, and God forbid I'm going to start naming, but I will say just a couple of new things that have happened. I'm super excited that Johnny's Dock is back open.
Yep.
Johnny's Dock is a Tacoma staple. I mean, Johnny's Dock is where we went for prom. I mean, like that's Johnny's Dock and CI Shenanigans, which is now Woven. But there's another great restaurant, Woven. But there are so many great restaurants, and see, I start naming them, and then I go, oh, but I didn't say the Grand, or I didn't say Masa, or I didn't say. There's just so many good restaurants in Tacoma. The Boom Boom Room, they're just.
That's a good one too.
That is a good one.
huh?
I mean, there's so. Indochine, right downtown. I mean, there is the Koi. There are so many. I could sit here all day and name restaurants.
Well, we just have bad luck then, because we've just been.
They're always full. That's our rotation right there. Several of them, and
Corno Bravo.
But that's a good thing, though.
Corno Bravo is good. Have you? There's
Lobster
new
Shop.
ownership. The Lobster Shop is
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
There is new ownership. Oh my goodness! Now I'm going to forget. It will come to me. See, this is what happens when a podcast is live. You don't get Primo. There's new owners at Primo.
yeah, yep.
Primo Grill is
Asato's good.
Yeah, I said Masa. That shows you how old I am from Tacoma, because John did own Masa and Asato. Now it's just Asato. Boy, I miss Masa. They had one of the greatest queso dips. But yeah, I mean there are.
Corbeau.
Corbeau. Have you been to Corbeau?
No, Corbeau's the new one right on 15th and where's Corbeau
No, it's
at?
Proctor.
Proctor.
Oh no, I've not been to
where
Corbeau.
Corbeau used to
Oh,
be.
Victoria, we have. That's where
Oh,
we're
see, I got to
taking
get
you.
to another restaurant.
They might still be open. So Corbeau. Do you remember the table?
Yes.
On 6th Ave. So the sous chef, I believe.
And the sommelier.
And the sommelier, when they shut the table down, they closed down, they opened up Corbeau. And our next season for podcasts are restaurants. And so we are pretty sure we're going to be interviewing Corbeau, Corno Bravo, Stink. Stink is another really good stuff. That's
one.
A fantastic
you
one.
Should, you should check out the Grand.
The Grand, they're the other one.
Yeah.
Desmond, what? No. Shoot, is it Desmond?
Yeah.
Desmond Washington. I think it's Desmond.
I'm not good with the names on the spot.
Those guys, what they do is impressive.
Really cool.
It's really, really good. So
If you haven't been to Johnny's Dock, what they're doing there is they've taken the old menu, which they were known for steaks and burgers and fish, and they have combined it with Southeast Asian food.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
And it is amazing. So recently we had our Tacoma Reads, and our book chosen this year was by a woman named Valerie Kaur, who is Southeast Asian. And And she wanted Southeast Asian food, and I wanted American food. And we ended up going to that restaurant, to Johnny's Dock, and everybody got to have, some people had Southeast Asian food, some of us had a steak, American food. It was just so,
nice.
the mix-up was just so good.
Yeah.
So kind of like what they do at Grand, where they infuse this new fusion
It's
stuff, where they're
yeah,
taking
it's-
two different kinds of food and putting
The
it together
culture
is
is a
amazing.
blend, yeah. Well, even Woven has
God.
the indigenous and Hawaiian, I think.
Yeah, it is.
That
You're
right?
right. Yeah.
We have a chat up here, Southern Kitchen.
Oh my God.
I haven't been to Southern Kitchen.
Oh my God. It's an old staple.
Where is that?
It's right at 6th and Sprague. It's a red building.
I know where that is.
Oprah Winfrey has been to
Really?
Southern Kitchen. Oh yeah.
Did you know that, Q?
It's been on
I'm gonna
diners.
put that in
What
the
is
chat.
it? Triple D.
Driver's Diner.
Driver, yep.
It's been on
How-
Triple D.
What kind of friend are you? Why would you
Yes.
keep that? Why would you do that to us? You
It's
put
really
it up there
good
and not tell
Southern
us?
My bad.
food, like fried chicken, catfish.
Yep.
I love their pancakes. If you like
They've got
grits, you can get grits in
What?
it. Like if you go there for breakfast, like you get a Southern breakfast. Like in the South, you don't get bacon and eggs.
no,
you
yeah.
can get catfish and fried chicken and grits and eggs. I mean, so you can get all. They have a fish called butterfish.
Yes, that's my favorite. Yeah.
See, you wonder. Oh man,
He knows.
yeah.
I gotta take
Their
Western.
macaroni and
Oh, look.
cheese, sweet potato pie.
Proud
what
of
you've
you,
done.
done.
Oh,
Oh, Jermaine.
Oh, it's
thank you, Jermaine.
Oh yeah, he said to say hi.
Yeah, he has an office here.
Hi, Jermaine.
That's awesome. I'm so excited that we figured out sort of how to do this.
that is cool. I love when
It's
people
a-
respond live. That's so
Yeah.
much fun.
That's awesome. We'll see if we get some more. I think people are starting to trickle on. So we've gone through, like I was asking some business questions
Yeah.
because I'm just curious. And something we've been working so much on. So that's gone. What's do you want to ask what's next question? Because I feel like that was your question.
He just asked
You want
it,
to?
right?
Yeah. You want to? You pulled
She's
up.
like, I'll put my little notes over here.
You can't pull your notes out.
Well,
You can have them memorized.
Well, we know what's not next.
We do know that.
Well, we'll ask this one first.
Sure.
When you imagine people talking about the Woodard years, how would you like them to speak of your time in office, and what do you imagine, what will characterize the Woodard years?
You know, I hope, it's kind of like if I was at my funeral, right, and people are talking about me, what would I want them to say? And certainly I didn't get everything done I wanted to. And certainly we've had our challenges with homelessness, with affordable housing, with public safety, with crime. So I'm not necessarily sure I want to be remembered for the things I did. Because I didn't have full control over the things I did. What I want to be remembered for is the way in which I did them.
Yeah.
That I didn't just talk about collaboration. I didn't just say it was important. It was evident in the way that I led this city. I want people to say she may not have been perfect, but we know that she loved and cared for this city. I'd love to be known as Tacoma's biggest cheerleader. In the person who believes that Tacoma can be absolutely anything. I stand on stages, I've stood on stages across this country with 3,000 other elected officials from this country and said, Tacoma is the greatest city in the universe. And I don't say it to be funny, although everybody always laughs when I say it in a room of other electeds, but I say it because I truly mean it. We talked about it earlier. We talked about, the fact that we're not Seattle or Portland, and that's not a negative thing. It's just that we're not. We're Tacoma.
Yep.
We talked about the people here. We talked about all of the great things that happen here. And when I say that, I don't say it because I'm the mayor of Tacoma. I say it because I'm a product of Tacoma. And so I hope what people will remember is that they felt respected, that they felt heard. We've had some pretty difficult council meetings where there have been a lot of emotions. People have been really upset with decisions that we've made. But I remember one meeting, I don't even remember what the issue was, but by the time we took the vote, the majority of people in that particular audience were not very happy, recognizing that the people that we hear from are not just the people who show up at council meetings. But a woman came up to me afterwards and she said, I disagree with the decision that you made. But I felt so respected, and I felt that you really heard me and respected what I had to say. And that is what I want people, that's what I want people to remember about me, that I love the city and that collaboration was not what I said, it was what I did.
There's nothing better than having a leader that cares so deeply that you can tell they believe what they're doing is right, whether you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
That is a lot easier to get there, because if you can see that, hey, you may not agree how they're getting there, but if the goal is to make Tacoma the best city or whatever the goal is that you're talking about, if you have the same goal, there's a lot of ways to get there. And if you don't talk about those ways of getting there and you don't work together, like I always feel like you got to meet in the middle and figure that out, because you're not going to agree with everyone. I mean, gosh, no, hardly anyone ever agrees with me.
I work with a council of 8 other people. We don't agree. But one of the things I'm super proud of, and a lot of people get mad about this, is that on some of our toughest decisions, we've still come out with a 9-0 vote. And I think people say they want to see us argue and disagree more and have more split votes. But to me, when we get to a 9-0 vote on something that's very controversial, then that says we worked really hard to not compromise our values, but to make sure that everybody could see something in that particular legislation that they believed in. So I didn't get it all, but I was able to see what was important to me, but I also got to see what was important to another council member and another council member and another council member. And I think that is what collaboration really is. It is working until you get there. You're right. Everybody's not going to agree. And there are lots of different opinions. Some people are comfortable sharing every single opinion they have with you, and then some people don't share their opinions, or they don't show up, as I like to say, they don't show up at a council meeting or send an email. When I'm standing at Costco pumping my gas, someone goes, "Mayor, is that you? Listen, I just want to say," or when I'm grocery shopping or at church, we get approached by people everywhere, and not everybody hears all of those conversations. And so, I think it's so important that if you can look, and I tell people this who get into politics, or just even to young people, at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror. And if you lived by your values that day and people disagreed with that, then you have to be okay with that. If you didn't live by your values, then you rise and try to do a better job the next day, because none of us are perfect. But I think I've been able to have some really difficult conversations and some decisions I've made. And I've even approached people who've been unhappy with decisions I've made. And I've approached them and said, let me tell you why. I've made some decisions where I got emails from people who said, I can't believe you did this. And I picked up the phone and called them and said, let me explain to you why. Let me tell you why. And at the end, they go, you know what? Again, I disagree with you, but I can respect your viewpoint.
Right.
And that's the best you could hope for in any situation.
I sure wish people would approach it in a way that they asked you about why, hey, I was wondering what made you think that, instead of saying, that was a shitty decision.
Yeah, that was dumb. How could you? I'm appalled by what you did. How could you even think about doing something like that, instead of saying
things like that too.
I can't imagine what people said to you.
My goodness.
And that's where,
yes.
And that's where the disrespect comes in, and that's the whole point. Like, I don't always agree with everyone, but I would like to know why they got there, because if I can understand it, then I can appreciate it more. And you know what? And then maybe one of those conversations might say, hey, I understand this, but have you thought about this? And you might be, you know what, I didn't think about that. And it might be, it's a conversation that might be able to meet in the middle, instead of doing this. And I feel like we do this too much. And so
We do. I've got people who have called me all kinds of names.
Ugh,
We've had people who've called into our council members, called into our meetings when we were getting Zoom bombed, who use the N word online. I mean, it is. I've had threats over the years. I've gotten postcards that don't say very nice things. I mean, it is. People are just when people, and I look at that and go, that person is really unhappy.
yeah.
And in some instances, if there's something I can do about what they think, I will try. But it sometimes you just have to accept that that's how people think, and there's not a whole lot. And I would say that's a really big lesson for me, because when you sign up to do this job, at least for me, you want to do a good job. You want to be able to meet everyone's need. You want to be able to give everyone what they want. And the reality is, you can't.
Yeah.
And so that gets really, really difficult. That is the hard part of this job. But again, if at the end of the day you can say you tried your best, then that's all you can do.
Yeah,
That's all any of us can do, no matter what we do
Right.
Yeah.
in life, whether it's our jobs or being parents or whatever we do. All you can do is give it your best. And if you've given it your best, then be okay with that, and don't beat yourself up for not being able to do more or do it differently, unless you really could. And if that's the case, get up the next day and try again.
Okay, so what's next?
I don't know yet.
Well, I've got a list of things. That
You've got a list of things. If you got a list of things,
I'm just
please
kidding.
give them to me. You know,
We talked about this a little bit on the boat.
On the boat.
yeah. I'm not sure. So, you know, I will be retiring from 20 years in elected office, 15 at the city and 5 at the park board. I don't anticipate running for another office. I will be honest and say, when people say, what higher office are you running for? In my personal opinion, there is no higher office than being mayor, because you are closest to the people. You have the direct connection. So to me, any place you go from here is down, not up. And I love people, like to all of my state legislators and to my federal legislators. Love you, love the work you do. But to me, to Victoria, this is the greatest work you can do. So I don't see myself running for elected office, but I also never say never. So I'm going to take a little time. It's time for a break. This has been a tough 8 years. I'll say this, and I'm okay with this, Trump 2 times. And so I'm ready to take a little break, but this is my home. I'm not leaving Tacoma. I am not going to all of a sudden disappear and you'll never see me again. I am sure I'm going to take a little break, but I'm sure you're going to see me active in community. I don't know how many council meetings I'll actually show up at, but if there's an issue, I'm going to be the one standing on the other side of the dais at the podium, sharing my thoughts with the council. But I imagine no matter what I do, it will always be in service to something greater than myself. And in most cases, I hope it's always in service to others.
Nice. So speaking of that,
Yes.
as you leave office, if you could write one piece of wisdom on a Post-it that you would leave for Anders, what would it be?
You know what? Because
Should we cut the video for a moment?
Oh, no! What's
I'm
really
just
funny,
kidding.
because I read this question and I was like, what? I would say this, because I had to write this down, because I was like, when you ask me in the moment, something else will pop up, and I really wanted to be thoughtful about this. And
Remember, it's got to fit on a Post-it.
it's got to fit on I write really small. I can't read when I write really small, but I can write really small. You know, my advice is very simple. Being mayor is not the seat of power. Being mayor doesn't mean that you get to go off and do all of the things you want to do. And I think one thing I would say is always remember who elected you, but also always remember that you don't do this work alone. There are over 3,600 employees who work at the city of Tacoma who carry out who carry out the work every day, who make sure that traffic lights work, that when you turn on your water, that water comes out of the spigot, that crosswalks are painted, that businesses are permitted, that a fire engine responds or a police officer responds. I mean, that when you dial 311, someone answers the phone or gets back to you about your issue. I mean, there are over 3,600 employees who work in the city of Tacoma. Remember them, because they're the ones who show up every day and do the work. We get to make the policy, but they do the job. And then don't forget those that you serve. Don't forget the residents. Listen to the residents. Listen to what they ask you for, but always balance what you've heard from one group with who you haven't heard from. Because you will not ever get to hear from everybody on one particular subject. So sometimes you've got to remember things people have said to you, or think about others that you might not be thinking about in that moment. And be honest. Be honest with what you know and honest with what you don't know. So be honest. Love the people in the city and treat them with that respect. Remember the people who carry out the work every single day. And I would also say that a mayor can't get anything done by themselves, that you need your council. And as the mayor, you lead that council. And you have to remember that their success is your success.
I love that.
That's what I would say.
How about your proudest moment as mayor?
Oh, God.
That's tough, I'm sure, because there's probably been a lot of them.
You know, I do. I have a lot. I would say the formation of the Mayor's Youth Commission is something I'm incredibly proud of. We were talking earlier about young people and how they want to use their voices. They want to be engaged. I don't remember as a young person growing up here being as engaged as these young people are today. When you think about the issues of climate, how many young people you see out there marching and making demands. And so engaging the Youth Commission and being able to clearly let them know that that they are not Tacoma's future, that they are Tacoma's present. And future means you have to go sit down somewhere and wait. Present means you engage now. I'm proud of the growing of Student Government Day. I think we started with 20. This year we had close to 100 kids who come to Student Government Day. I would say guaranteed income, being able to pilot that and get funding out to people in this community. Apprenticeship pathways, getting people trained in good jobs and getting them paid while they do that work. And I guess finally, I will also say it was also great to represent Tacoma on the national stage. It was an honor to be president of the National League of Cities, but more importantly, it was greater to be the mayor of Tacoma, who was president of the National League of Cities. And then I would probably also say that I was able to keep people of Tacoma and equity centered in almost I would say I try to put it in every decision that I made, that I focused on who would benefit and who would be caused any potential harm in the decisions that we made.
Hey, Q, have you seen any questions pop up?
Yes. So.
Sorry,
No, it's okay.
That was a fantastic answer, and I was looking up because I wonder if anyone's asked any questions.
Oh, yeah, I want to answer questions if they've asked them.
And I don't see any up there, but they disappear.
Becca Richards asked, I'm wondering if there's a plan to attract more tourism too.
More tourism
to Tacoma?
Yeah,
I assume, yeah.
Tacoma. Yeah, she asked that back when we were talking earlier, so that was the question. Yeah.
Yes, and I will tell you, one way that we're going to do it here very soon, and that is, Seattle is hosting FIFA. And Tacoma has been designated a fan zone. And we are working very closely with the Puyallup tribe to host the fan zone in Tacoma. Everybody who comes to this area is not going to be able to get in the game, but people come to the area. They'll come to Tacoma, they'll go to Everett. And so that's going to put Tacoma on the national stage again. And so I think the more people have a chance to visit Tacoma, whether they come here for business or however we get them here, that once they're here, they will come back. And so I think through, now they've got a new name, and so I'm going to get in trouble for not remembering. It used to be the Visitor and Convention Bureau, then it was Travel Tacoma.
It's Visit Tacoma,
now it's
Pierce
Visit,
County.
yes,
Yeah.
now it's called
Dean
Visit.
Burke.
Yeah, Dean Burke and
yes.
his, I think the work that they do is helpful. I think that any time that we host something at the Tacoma Dome, and people come into the city again, those are opportunities for people to come back. So tourism is something that we promote, and I think it's something we got to continue to work on.
The cruise line, right?
Yeah, well,
comes here.
Well, yeah, we have the smaller cruise line comes here, but how do we get people when people come out of the airport? How do we get people if they want to go to Seattle, which is great?
We have so many.
Let's do it.
Like ideas on that. We've got one of the things we talked about, and the reason why. Oh, here we go. It says, can you read that? It says, this is from Jermaine. Do you see small business impact being critical to Tacoma's infrastructure?
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Let's
question.
let me be really clear and really honest. Small businesses are the backbone of this city.
Yeah.
This city thrives because of our small businesses. Because you're exactly right. We're not the Amazon's not going to locate their corporate headquarters here, right? So it is our small businesses that we grow. Frank Russell started as a small business. Weyerhaeuser started as a small business. I mean, and now look at Columbia Bank, right? They started out a long time ago as I remember this as Puget Sound National Bank. I mean, and now look how big Columbia Bank is with a new name and all of that. So I think, but everything starts small before they can grow. And I think the success of Tacoma is always going to be on the backs of our small businesses. And so our small businesses, they're our employers. They contribute to our tax base. They're what makes a city thrive. They're why people come to a city. We can say we want tourists to come to a city, but there got to be things that lure them to a city. And it is our small businesses. So the answer is yes, and yes.
Yep.
I have a sneaking suspicion Jermaine knew the answer to that question.
Yeah,
that might have been a softball, but
I
I'll
was about
take
to say,
it.
he lobbed that thing right up there.
And I hope I hit it right out of the park.
You way out of the park.
Good thing it was a question and not a baseball, because I don't do that very well.
So I believe, and again, I think there's a lot of ways to do this, and one of the things that I'm really passionate about and the things that we've been doing, the reason why we do these monthly events, the challenge with the students, the Kickstarter, we've got the season 3 podcast with the restaurants. In September, we want to do a chili cook-off every September, and we're going to invite if you have a food license in this area, this is your stage. Come compete.
Goodness. I think for the restaurant thing, I think you should have a couple of locals, not locals, but locals, all volunteer, to go to the restaurant before you go and try out some of the food and then give you a review. I mean, I'm willing to sacrifice myself.
Could you do that? Would you do that?
It's a lot to ask, but I think I might sacrifice myself to do that.
Well, to that point is that when we continue to do these events, it puts all eyes on Tacoma.
It does.
And as we grow events like that, and that's where, and I think a lot of people are starting to do this, to where if you build something, it's small, as it grows, but you have to do it every year. The block party.
Yep.
That's one example, but we need a lot of those. And
Absolutely.
It starts to bring all eyes on Tacoma. And when people keep coming, they're going to want to stay.
Yeah.
But we have to get them here. And the way I think you do that
is through those events.
Right. And it's through events that bring education together, food
Yep.
industry. We need with Kelly's, which we're hopefully getting ready to kick that back going and kick that back up. But music, we more music. We have comedy clubs. Like we want to. We have this idea that the whole reason we started the Uncut is that when comedians and musicians come into town, we want to get them on this.
Oh, yes.
And we want to throw out the red carpet because in Tacoma, you get to meet the mayor. You get to meet the people that are behind Tacoma, and you get to see behind the curtain. And when you can see that as a person that's coming in here to do a show, you're going to leave with this really just awesome vision of Tacoma, and you're going to go tell other places.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they're going to come because they like how they're treated when they come into town, because you try to throw out that red carpet, if you will, but in a lot of different ways. And I think those types of things, when Abe coming here is huge. Like when you get to know the restaurant folks and they're coming to these things and they're coming together, I think you build that community and build a bigger community, and people want to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
And that's not having Amazon. That's just getting your community together.
We don't need Amazon to bring
We
our
do not
community
need
together.
Amazon,
I mean,
no.
I'd love to have Amazon. I'd love to have you in Tacoma. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
but our community is our community,
Right.
and we own it.
That's-
and
yes.
we build it, and so
We want you to be a part. We want whoever to be a part of our community.
Absolutely.
We don't need you to bring a community.
No, we got it.
Yeah, we've got it. That's
We've got
exactly
it.
right. Anyway,
Yeah.
I went way off on tangent.
no,
on that
that's
one.
okay. Tangents are good.
Well, the new Wooden City is going to be.
Someone did they say hi, Mom?
Yeah, AGM93FRFR says hi, Mom. I don't
It's
know.
Alex.
Oh, it's Alec.
Oh,
that's
I was like, that doesn't sound like any of my adopted children, but I hope somebody. I mean, I have a few. I don't know them all, but I have a few adopted kids out there.
And if it's Weston, I'm gonna have a word with him. I'm just kidding.
You start your pronouns wrong.
I love it. I love
I
it.
was going to say the new Wooden City is going to be much bigger. So here's hoping that the mayor can get into the new Wooden City.
Yes.
I hope so. I hope
I'm
so.
sure.
You know what? I'm just going to call and make a reservation once a week, and then
I mean, we could do that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Standing reservation.
we I think with what they're planning there too, they're gonna have a bigger seating area.
It's beautiful.
And there's going to be a
yeah, you got
a
the
whole
tour.
vibe. Like right now, it's smaller, so it's hard to go in and wait. But now they're going to have a lounge area, so you can go get a drink, sit down, and
The
wait.
bar is
Yeah, it's
amazing.
cool, isn't
There's
it?
an upstairs. Oh, I can't. I don't want to tell it all, but
it's,
I cannot wait. And you know what's so funny is that Wooden City just even now, and I know we're just talking about one business, but I mean, they are full all the time. And I think that is the story of Cornell Bravo. Like there are a
Same.
lot of restaurants there that are full. You're right. So maybe we need some more.
But why do you think those restaurants are always full? Like, I have a theory around it as well, but
What makes the restaurant good? Good food.
Mm-hmm.
Good service,
Yep.
and in my opinion, consistency.
yep, those are the three.
I mean,
agree.
I'm not I don't own a restaurant, never have, but I think that's
maybe food critic is your next.
Yeah, I listen. I'll be your assistant.
I'm not a very good critic because I'm going to find something good to say about everything, no matter how. I'm going to say
Sometimes that's a good thing, though. That's okay.
Yeah, no, I'd be a great food critic. I mean, I'd be great because all I would say is, this. I'd never say this wasn't good. I'd say eat this, this, and this. But no, I think there's a job for me.
There's like
Just figured it out.
Corner Bravo. I mean, Wooden City's pricing is very reasonable, but I think Tacoma comes out for Tacoma, and if you have those three things, which the food is great, the experience is great, and the consistency is great. Those are my three factors when I go, and I think. Which is exactly what you said. And I think when you nail that, Tacoma gets behind it and you have a great result. If you're not having a great result, sometimes taking a step back and looking at what you're missing, I think would be beneficial. But I think it proves
you're right.
that it's...
And I think you've got to have that chemistry. You've got to have all of those.
Yes.
I mean, I put them in that order, but I think number one is, like you said, the experience, the quality. Because I will go back to a restaurant where the food is not the greatest food, but the quality of the service and the atmosphere and the people are great. That just makes the food great. I think you can have the best food and have really poor service, and it doesn't matter how good your food is. But I think you'd have really good service and have not the best food, and people will still come. So I think it's how people. I think it's how people make you feel. I think it's how what vibe do you feel when you walk in there. And so I think the service and the experience is number one. And I think Tacoma is fortunate in that we have a lot of, and that's probably why they are crowded. And that makes me really excited, right?
I think it's a great problem
I think
to have.
It is a great problem to have. We need more restaurants because our current restaurants are too full. Right?
That's what I think. That's the answer, is that we have room for more when they're that full. And it's not a couple of them. A lot of them are full. And we drive around like, well, where are we going to get in tonight? And it might not be the best moment when you're feeling that. Like, man, I wish we could get in there. But it's a good sign. Which is really great. Q, are you keeping an eye? Or I should have put it up there, but I keep looking. I don't know if I'm missing anything yet. Do you see anything else?
There's one more question from the chat. It's from Q's Recording Studios.
Okay.
They want to know, how is the city supporting local artists, musicians, filmmakers, and creative entrepreneurs?
Ooh, good question.
My goodness, what are all these lobbying balls at me? I mean, can someone throw a fastball at me so I might miss it? When we talk about proud moments, I will say another proud moment Tacoma creates. Yeah. The establishment. I was a city council member, then not mayor. The fact that this city stood up and said, we care about the arts so much that we're willing to tax ourselves 0.1% to fund it. Passed in every single precinct in the city 10 years ago. Just a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, I think in September, October, we reauthorized Tacoma Creates.
That's fantastic.
Which is somewhere between $6 and $8 million a year going to artists and makers in the city of Tacoma. So, Q, thank you for the question.
Yeah, no problem.
But I think that what's great about that is that it's not just the city, as in City Hall's commitment. It is the entire city's commitment to the arts.
Yeah.
And we see the value in it. And Councilmember Scott, new council, well, she's not new anymore. She's been there 2 years, but she's still new till we get someone newer, and someone newer doesn't happen until January. So I let her still. Oh no, Councilmember Sandesh, I think, came after Councilmember Scott. So, but she's a filmmaker, and she has a lot of interest in making Tacoma more of a filmmaking community. How do we get more people to shoot here? And so. There are some people looking at how do we become a film city, and that's something that she's been working on and really looking at. So I think you're going to see even more people. We love the arts here. Look at the number of museums we have in the city of Tacoma. I mean, the Washington State History Museum that is for the entire state of Washington is where? In Tacoma. Yeah. We've got America's Car Museum in Tacoma, and it's a national, international museum. Yeah. So
the Glass Museum.
We've got the Glass Museum. I mean,
that's nuts.
The Art Museum.
The Seaport Museum.
The Seaport. Too. Just all these. It is Tacoma. Yeah.
Go on.
This is why Tacoma is the greatest city in the universe. I need everybody else to know. I got one.
Okay.
How do we establish a shared vision for our downtown area and develop a reasonable, actionable plan? How do we establish a shared vision for our downtown area?
Well,
that's a good question.
That is a good question. So, over the past 18 months, thanks to our outgoing governor, Governor Inslee, who our former, I shouldn't say outgoing, but our former governor, Governor Inslee, we were contacted by the governor's office about an opportunity to work with a company out of Copenhagen. Out of Denmark, Blocksub. And the initial part of the work, the state funded our initial part of the work, where we brought together those people that he just referenced to kind of do a plan for downtown. And you will see us, actually, we just allocated $35,000 from council contingency just at our last council meeting. And then they've raised the other part of it to fund more activity in downtown Tacoma. So there is going to be, I think there are Christmas markets that are happening in different locations. We're also activating some of our garage space that's covered up for outdoor markets. And so I encourage everybody, type in City of Tacoma, downtown winter programming, and you will see the kinds of things that we're doing in downtown to bring people back to downtown. The Blocks Hub work that we also did while we're in winter now doing that talks about how we activate downtown during the summer. How do we get people downtown? How do we shut off Broadway? Don't freak out, everybody. It's not a foregone conclusion. We still have to talk to business owners. I don't want anybody to say the mayor said the former mayor said we were shutting down downtown.
It's the most logical street to shut down.
How do we shut off Broadway during the summer and put tables out through the middle of down Broadway so that restaurants and that the farmers market can be what it used to be and be huge? Because here's the reality of what's happening in a lot of cities' downtowns. People, I don't think we'll ever see people back in office space like we saw prior to the pandemic. I think that there really is this new way of doing business. And I think it will change a little bit and will get tweaked, but I don't think you're ever going to rely solely on corporate America to be the focus of your entire downtown. I think downtowns are going to get more mixed use, more housing and business. So I think you've got to find other ways to activate downtown spaces just like you do neighborhood business districts. And so I think there are great opportunities, and I think that success comes from bringing more people downtown. But you've got to give them a reason to come so you got to do events, you got to do things that bring people downtown. And I think the work that we've done with Blocks Hub is really just the beginning of launching something, but the conversations have to continue and the growth has to continue. And I think it also has to then incorporate our neighborhood business districts. And so that all of our business districts are thriving. But downtown is the heartbeat of the city.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't just focus on neighborhood business districts if downtown isn't thriving too.
Right.
So they've all got to thrive in order for a city to work. And I think we have to envision how they thrive differently and who supports the opportunity for them to thrive.
I think to that point, the old DeVita building going to multifamily now, the conversion's happening. Colbos.
Yeah, that's happening.
I just literally interviewed Devin Page, who's the president of Colbos, and we last week we toured and took some footage over there.
Oh, man, wow.
It's supposed to open in June, which I think we scheduled a Tacoma Rising tour there for a hard hat tour. We'll see how that goes. But that I don't know why I gave a plug for that, but the point being that
that's what's happening.
Yeah.
The Washington building, right?
Yep,
the Washington building
Mm-hmm.
got converted. I was downtown for something and some people were standing on the corner and we started talking. And I said, well, where do you all live? And they said, we live right here in the Washington building. And I forgot, as a Tacoma girl, it's always been an office building, that now it is an apartment building. And so I think seeing more of that again, it's that mixed use, right?
You have to. And Tacoma's, it's always been a commercial corridor there, and if you get people down there, I agree, the office will never be the same.
Yeah.
But that being said, that we still need it.
Oh, absolutely.
But we definitely need more people living downtown because it's a ghost town on the weekends unless you have something going on down there. And a lot of it, having the Wooden Cities, the destination retail is great.
Yeah.
Steel Creek is a great example.
Yeah.
It's packed on the weekends out there, but we need to have more of that and more people walking around, and that'll happen when you have people living downtown.
That's
too.
right.
And creating those opportunities I think are good. One thing you mentioned with the Blocks Hub, so one thing I wanted to ask you if you'd be open to doing, we have our challenge in April. Every April, the challenge is with the college students. So all 7 colleges, I'm pretty sure, are going to participate. We're going to have 50 students. We're going to get 30 mentors from finance, urban planning, marketing, civil engineering, development, and stakeholders, landlords. And so, and the reason we're going to do that is we're going to create 5 teams, and we're going to put 6 mentors on each team. And the goal is to look at the retail right there in on Pac Ave and UWT's campus. And UWT is the gateway.
Stock list and is it
yes.
Baby Channing?
Yep. All that there's that area has been struggling for a while to keep the engagement going. And yes, it's the entrance to UWT, but it's the gateway to Tacoma.
Yeah.
So the problem that they're solving for is how do you create more engagement at that intersection where the museums, entrance to UWT, the retail, all that meet right there. That should be one of the hottest spots in town. So we have 80 people that are going to be here on a 4 to 5 hour workshop. And what I'd like to do is have the judges come in from UWT and the city to hear them pitch. Would you like to judge?
I would love to be a judge.
So
I love that kind of stuff.
It's exciting because what I think is going to come out of it is that, one, you get to see what the students come up with, but you're going to have 30 professionals from developments, landlords, people that struggle with the same issues they do throughout downtown. They're going to be giving advice and talking about things where UWT has an opportunity to listen and hear, hey, here's some ideas that you can work on to solve some of your issues. And then you're going to have some crazy creativity that we probably haven't even thought about, that these students are going to come out, and we're going to end up with some ideas that they're going to get feedback that it is going to be tangible to what they could do. Joe Lawless, he's our main contact for UWT when we put this stuff together, and he's going to have MBA students come, document what they hear, and put a plan together of how do we incorporate what we heard to what we could do, which is really exciting.
Love that.
So those are things that we're trying. That's why we do the challenge, is how do we get students and businesses to connect and talk about the issues we have here in Tacoma or some of these other areas that we can have better solutions for. But then the best part is the students get to meet the professionals, and there's no better
and they get to
interview.
See what's possible.
Exactly.
They get to see what's possible. I think as a kid who grew up here, and when I grew up here, I joined the military, right? I joined the military to see the world and to serve my country. But I was one of those kids who thought about going somewhere else. And I think the more that we can show our young people in this community that there's a place for them here, even if they decide to go off somewhere else to college, that they can take that experience and come back to Tacoma. I remember hearing back when I was a council member, a lot of people talked about the brain drain, right? We educate a lot of students here and then they go somewhere else. So it's because they don't see their future here. So I'm really grateful to you all for what you're doing, because it gives young people an opportunity to see, oh, wow, I could make something happen right. I don't have to go to some other city. I can make it happen right here in my own. And so let me express my gratitude for what you all are doing, because that helps young people to see I can make a difference right here.
And listen, I think it goes both ways on this, because I think all we're doing is trying to showcase what has been going on here for a while and just put things that are already happening together. And I've lived all over the country. I grew up in Indiana. It was funny because I had a podcast this morning with Julie White. She is Julie White. Dr. Julie White is the chancellor for Pierce College.
Oh, yeah. I was like, why does that name sound familiar?
She was literally sitting there, and I was sitting here, and we were talking, and she mentioned that she was from Indiana. I go, oh, wait a second. You're from Indiana? Because I'm from Indiana. Had no idea. And we started talking about just like things that we can talk about that we remember from Indiana that no one would get here because, and I loved growing up in Indiana, but I can say that I've lived in DC, Chicago, Philly, South Carolina, Charleston, Atlanta. I've lived all over the country, and Tacoma is by far the best place I've ever lived. And I say this because it used to bother me, because it felt like the Seattle freeze is it's tough to break through that when you get here. And I've learned that the reason is because a lot of people that live here are from here, and they've built their, I don't want to say their relationships young, and they've grown them. So when you move to the other cities on the East Coast it's transient.
Right.
So it's easier to make friends, but I value it here because once you get in, it's the loyalty, and it's just you feel like you're so much connected to the community because there's roots, and it feels really good. And what I've learned about Tacoma is that people will leave here and come back.
Yeah.
Because they learn that it's pretty great out here, in my opinion. I mean, you leave Indiana and you don't go back potentially because you find where you're going. But when I can see, like, my son's growing up here, and I can see him wanting to go somewhere else because for whatever reason.
Yep.
And he's going to go there
And he's going to go, I'm going back to Tacoma.
I want to be back to the Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
And so anyway, that's a very long explanation, but I think Tacoma's got so much here, and the potential, what I hear was, it's opportunity. Tacoma has opportunity.
Yeah, we do.
And it's where it was potential maybe at one point. I keep hearing Tacoma's got potential. I was like, no. Tacoma's got opportunity, and it's
That
right
means
here.
we got to develop something before you can come here. You can come here now.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So anyway,
Absolutely, come here now.
Way off topic again.
Look,
here I go.
That's a good thing about being in a podcast with great people. It becomes just a conversation, right?
No agenda.
Should we end with a speed
I think so.
We
Are
have
you
a
ready for
speed
this?
round? Ooh.
These are, I don't know.
Is that the lightning round?
These are those fast pitches you were asking for.
Okay.
love these.
Let me get my bat ready.
Would you like to do the honors?
No, go ahead.
You do it.
Okay, rapid fire. Fun ending segment.
Okay.
Okay,
You don't have to read
one word answer.
Oh God.
One word.
I'm a politician, really?
Yeah.
One word.
One word. But
Okay.
They're fairly good. You have 0.2 of a second. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. Favorite Tacoma view, as I got this earlier. Go.
That's 2 words.
That's okay. One
Mayor's
thing.
balcony.
Where's Mayor's balcony?
Off the mayor's office.
Oh, God.
Because you can see Mount Rainier, the dome, the port, and the water.
You got it all right
so
there.
that it is
Good answer.
It is, yes. That's my favorite view.
All right. Most underrated Tacoma neighborhood.
Oh, that's not fair.
I know it's tough. There's a lot of them. Jermaine said absolutely.
I'm going to I'm going to say something I keep driving by that just is just getting better and better and better. I'm going to say the South Tacoma Business District.
Oh, South Tacoma Way.
South Tacoma Way.
Okay.
I'm going to say South Tacoma, like between 47th and 56th.
Like historic.
Yeah.
Radners,
a lot of investments,
yeah.
a lot of new stores, a lot of new restaurants.
We've been down there at night, and it's moving. And I didn't like.
We have?
Yeah, when we went to Q's.
Edison Square?
Edison Square.
Yeah.
Q was
that
playing.
I didn't
You
know
remember he
that's
was
where
playing?
we were.
Yeah, that's
I don't pay attention when I'm not driving.
Yeah, fair enough.
But Howdy Bagel is down there.
Howdy Bagel,
Oh, it's
amazing.
crazy good.
A line outside no
Every
matter
time.
when you go.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Coffee order. It can be more words. What's,
Tall, skinny vanilla latte.
Ooh, classic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
She's a lady. She's a lady.
Because I'm a fake coffee drinker.
okay.
That's the only coffee drink I drink. I don't drink black coffee or coffee with sugar. I just drink a tall, skinny vanilla latte.
Yep.
Period. I'm a tea drinker.
Becca Richards said, love that answer. Becca Lamberg, sorry. Love that answer. Which one, Becca? Can
I was
you
gonna say, which
elaborate?
answer?
I feel like they're all good. Okay. Song that always puts you in a good mood. I think we know that one.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to play it?
Yeah,
She
that
had
song
on-
does put me in a good mood. That is so. Let me just say, I'm a gospel choir director,
I didn't know
and
that.
I am. But this is my favorite R&B song. So I happen to really love
This is your walk-up song.
It is my it's my walk-up song in some places. My favorite walk-up song in big groups is We Are Family. But I like gospel music. So there's a Kirk Franklin song that I can't think of right now. I can't think of the name of it, but I just heard it this morning. I play it every morning. So gospel music is what really, like, what sends me out every morning is gospel music.
It can really change your mood.
Oh my
I
God,
listen
it
to music
absolutely
every morning.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like when I'm in a good mood, I hear a song that's like down. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Eh. So
No, yeah, got it. Now, as you ask me the next one, I'm going to look up the name of the song because I want people to go out and listen to it.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I'll probably know it if you say the name.
Oh yeah, everybody knows everything Kirk Franklin does.
Q's
Sing
back
it
there.
for you.
Oh, no.
Get on there, Q. No, that's okay. All right. I'll. Do you want me to ask the other one, or do you
No,
want
go
me to-
ahead.
Go. Okay. One word that describes Tacoma today, and one word you hope describes it in the future. That's a good question.
Gosh, one word that describes Tacoma. I mean, if I only have one, the first thing that comes to me is awesome, but that's just not even big enough in my mind. Home.
Home. Ooh. There we go.
Is that your answer for both questions?
Yeah.
Home and home.
Yes.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Home.
Wow. What would you say? Your one word. Let's go around the room on that.
Hey, yeah.
I
What's
wanna
your
hear
one?
that.
I like that. Let me ask the question.
Yeah, here you go.
I always get asked the question. Yeah, let's
There you
trade
go.
seats. Trade seats. Yeah, look. Look, you come sit in the hot seat, and I'll move over here.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, my goodness.
One of the songs I love
Does
is
that mean this is my person?
I Smile. Yeah, no.
You gotta get in front of the mic.
Look. Oh,
Get
yeah,
in-
sorry.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I Smile is one of my favorite Kirk Franklin
Oh, I
songs,
Smile.
and Love
Yeah,
Theory
yeah.
Oh.
is,
Yep.
because I smile just means that no matter what happens, I smile.
Yep.
I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile. I smile. It's so hard to look up
Oh, she preaching.
when you feel down.
She's on one.
Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
good. I like that. I've never heard that.
So what's your one word to describe Tacoma?
I think just I'm going to say picturesque because the thing that took me by surprise about Tacoma was the geography.
How beautiful it is.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, that sounds really ignorant, but
No.
when we first moved here, we had a vacancy, and Jeff was thinking about opening a cafe. And he had a marketing company draft a bunch of possibilities for names and graphics and logos and everything. And it was going to be like maritime. And I was like, why is he doing maritime? Like, why does he think everybody in Tacoma is like into boating? Now
you know why.
Now that I know.
I was gonna say I'm gonna wait for Jeff to comment up here.
Jeff, are
He's
you
about to-
listening?
There's gonna be horns and everything.
I mean, now I think I log as many work hours on boats as I do in the office
Yeah.
because we do a lot of entertaining, as you know, on our boats.
Yeah.
The portfolio boats. So yeah, it's big time.
And you, sir?
Unstoppable.
Ooh, I like that. Corinne Hawthorne, because I'm unstoppable.
Yes.
That's
that's a
another
good
one.
song, yeah.
That's another one.
Oh,
That's a
how
good
does
one.
that
Yes.
one go?
I get all the way in. That's the way I was raised, and I'm up on my business because I'm unstoppable. Ain't no hoping and wishing. Say a prayer, catch a wave. I'm going to go on out and get it because I can be what I want, try it if I want. Because I'm empowered by the King, and he won't let me fall.
Wow.
That will put you in a
That
good
Because
is-
I'm unstoppable. I got to sing with the Tacoma Concert Band on Saturday night.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, on last Saturday night.
That's so cool.
Oh
That's
my
fun.
God.
Oh.
It was Christmas carols, but I got to wear like a long formal red gown, and I felt I felt like I was really, and the picture makes it look like I'm really like singing. And they're like, oh my God, what are you singing? Are you singing opera? And I'm like, no, I'm singing Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells. But I looked like I was singing something different. But I was singing Jingle Bells in Silent Night, but I felt different. I felt different.
That's why I feel like Saturday, was it last Sunday or Saturday night?
Oh no, sorry, last Saturday night. Sorry, Saturday of when we lit the Christmas tree.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, that explains why I saw so many people. Never mind.
That's
Wrong
exactly
number.
why.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the other rapid fire question? Were those the rapid
That was
fire?
it. That was
Great, that was easy.
You nailed it. See, he wasn't even. No, we didn't give her no
You guys
fast
gotta get
pitch.
some tough. Let me write the questions next
Yeah.
time.
Well, you know what? You're on your way out. We're trying to be friendly.
You know what? I appreciate it. You know
No,
what?
I-
I'm not complaining at all. I've had enough hard questions in my life, but I guess I would just say this: as I come to the end, and as difficult as some of this time has been, what I would say is, if I had to do it all over again, I would still raise my hand, and I would still say, being a mayor of your hometown, if you get to do that, you're lucky. But for me, I don't know of anything else I could do in this world that would top how it feels to serve as mayor of your hometown, and to know that, or to believe that you got to make some impact and make some difference.
You know why I think you feel that way?
Why?
Because when we were on the boat and I met is it your stepdaughter-in-law? Is that
Rhea?
the relationship?
No, I can't.
Those two young girls that I was talking to at the end of the cruise.
Oh, yes.
Scott's-
Yeah, my boyfriend's
Yes,
daughter-in-law.
yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to get a little personal and share. I hope
It's okay. No, it's okay.
She shared with me, and she told me that she had gone through a really difficult period in her life. And that you were mayor during this time.
I was.
That you came over to her house every single day and made sure she got out of bed. And you said, what are we going to do today? And I think that mayor is doing that for your city. Because you said, what can I do today? And I think that's why you loved it, because that's who you are. You take care of people. You make sure that they have a purpose and that they are doing the best they can do every single day. And that's what you were doing for Tacoma.
Thank you for that.
I remember hearing that story too. I couldn't go that night, and she was telling me about it, and I love that. I think there's no better. To actively be doing that for individuals, that's who you are. That is who you are. It's not you saying that that's who you are, or whatever. You actively did something, and you didn't have to do. And you stepped up for someone that needed it. And I feel like anyone that will do that on a personal level will do that on a bigger level.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's when you say, like, that to me says everything about how you want Tacoma to be and what you want to do for Tacoma. And that reinforces exactly what I was trying to get at earlier, that you don't have to agree with people, but if you can tell that they really are passionate of what they believe, you can get behind what they're doing a lot easier. So that's really awesome.
Maybe I should have been a firefighter. I am. When things are at a lull, I'm okay, but I'm the person who runs. I run into the fire. That is where where I think I'm called and where I'm supposed to be.
Good under pressure?
Yeah, better under pressure, right? It's like when the building's on fire and everybody is running out, when situations get really tough, sometimes I say I'm not the best maintenance friend, but like let something be wrong or or somebody be in need, and that is when I show up best. Because I do care about people and their well-being. And I know in some of the decisions I make, people might disagree. But even in those decisions that I make, I still am making it based on how it affects someone else.
I don't know. I think you are a good maintenance friend. You had a lot of people show up for you at your birthday party.
I was grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful.
I'm just sorry I missed it.
Only turned 60 once.
I know. Man.
Only turned 60 once. Oh, wow. I get to actually see myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly delayed.
Yeah, there's probably a 20-second delay on it up there. I don't know why. The chats come in quickly. When someone writes something, they come in pretty automatically, but then there's a long delay. Anyway.
Wow.
But normally,
I'm just like this.
Right. My feet don't.
No, right? Like, I'm like, see? I was like, am I leaning? Do I look like I'm laid back here? It's
No.
like, I felt like I had to sit
No.
up. I should have put a pillow behind my back over there.
they normally we're not live, and that's real time when we watch it. So it's a little weird when you can't see yourself. So anyway, or live. So earlier when I was starting, I felt like this is kind of weird. I don't know. There's no response or reaction. I'm not seeing anything.
I
So
love it.
anyway,
A maiden voyage.
yeah. Well,
Look, and I got to be on the maiden voyage.
you got to host your own show.
I know, right? Yeah, I did. It's like I switched up. Forget being interviewed. I'm going to interview.
man.
Well, let me ask you all some tough questions.
Oh my gosh, feel free. Oh jeez.
No, I realized I just looked at my watch and I'm like, oh wow, we've been on here almost 2 hours.
Yeah. This is what happens. You get good conversations. We don't have.
It's gonna be a hard act to follow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I don't know if
No,
we'll
thank
ever
you
do it.
all.
It might
Thank
be the
you all
only.
for this opportunity.
Oh my God! Thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
I'm excited to be here. Oh my God, you're supposed to. One of my one of my proudest moments or something I was supposed to say, being on the show, because I guess when I was talking to my assistant about being on the show, I guess it took us a little while to finally get it together between my schedule and your schedule. So I was like, oh, let me say that one of my proudest moments was being able to be on the show.
What?
That's what I put on
Oh
here.
my goodness!
I did. I thought
That's
it'd be fun. It was just going to be fun.
it. Well, I'm honored that you wanted to come on. That was really cool. This was just this is just something we started. Oh my gosh. A year ago.
Is this your 1 year anniversary?
This is honestly our first podcast was right before the toast last year. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was literally the
When
week.
is the toast?
It's Thursday. What is it, or when is it?
When is it? I know what it is.
Oh, sorry.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday, from 5 to 8.
Yeah.
But it was the Monday or Tuesday before the toast. It was the month. It literally is our 1 year anniversary.
Wow.
The first one we had, which is so funny.
Who was on the first one?
It was our board, the Tacoma Rising board. We almost had everybody.
It was
Q was in
terrible.
the studio.
It was so hot in there too.
bad.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Well, we didn't have the air. Were you the only one in the
I
back
started
room?
off in there, and it was we had too many people, so I ended up.
No, you were in the back because you had to do. You ended up in here on the picture
for a
though.
picture. Yeah, for a picture.
The picture.
We
Sure.
could hear him though because we all had
Headphones on. We all had headphones.
Oh my God! Now you know. Oh, it was on the 9th. Oh, look at it.
It was on the 9th. Oh my gosh,
It
that's
is the
awesome,
9th.
Becca.
Yeah.
Today's the 8th. Today's the 8th.
Tomorrow's the 9th. It
when
really
we
was
recorded-
a year.
It
Well,
was a
happy
year ago.
anniversary.
Thank you. Holy
anniversary.
We made it.
We should have had some
Can you believe that?
champagne.
I didn't
Wait,
even
I
think.
have
Should have been toasty.
Oh, that is
Shoot.
hilarious. But we had 8 people in here.
In this
It was-
room,
Yes.
We had.
I'm warm, and it's just the 3 of us.
It was so bad. It was our first one. I did a podcast. I had a podcast, only a few episodes originally a couple years before, but it was just too hard because it was virtual. So I was like, we're going to build a podcast studio and we're going to start a podcast.
I love this.
Today was the first, or a year ago was our first one, obviously, but today, this podcast is our 22nd episode on Tacoma Rising. This is our 22nd. 23rd's tomorrow. We've almost done 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
getting
kind of
good at
wild.
it.
Oh, no.
That is
no,
so
no.
cool. That
So
is
to have you
cool.
on our 1 year, that's incredible.
I was somebody's 100th guest on someone's podcast.
Oh, you were.
I was their
I was
100th
with
guest.
that.
Now I am your
First year.
I'm here for your anniversary.
Anniversary.
And the launch of Uncut.
Uncut and uncut. I don't know if anyone will ever watch this, but
Well, they'll probably will for about the first 20 minutes and then go, what the heck are they talking about? And how long is this thing?
They're going to be like, oh, it's Reed again.
Jermaine's not even here anymore.
Jermaine left us. Jermaine, where did you go? Jermaine left us.
Jermaine, the best part today, Jermaine was talking to us. He was in the doorway, and he was the one walking away, which I were like,
That
wait a
doesn't
second,
happen.
that doesn't happen. And I was like, finally, we out-talked Jermaine. Jermaine is so awesome.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite people. I met him several years ago down at Worksphere. He was down there for a while. I had a space down there, or a desk, and I kept joking about him as, I'm going to get you to come up to our co-working space. And he randomly came up or something and walked through it and said, I got to be here. And I was like,
That is
I was
so
awesome.
cool.
And that was a year ago probably, or this year, early this year.
Great addition to the community.
But he is hugely valuable to the
talk
community.
about mayors. He's the mayor of the co-working
Yeah.
space.
I bet.
In business, he knows everybody.
Yeah.
He was talking. Well, obviously we were talking about you. He was talking Julie White tomorrow. Sheila Edwards Lang will be on the podcast tomorrow morning. So she's the next
best. She's
guest.
the best.
I've met her, but I haven't actually talked to her
you're
yet.
gonna have a great
I'm so excited.
conversation with
Yeah.
her. You're gonna have a great. Tacoma has so many great people.
It's so funny you say that because I was talking to Julie about that today. We were, do you know Anin Vadapalli with Light Curve?
Oh yeah. I have met him.
We were talking. I had lunch with him today, and it just happened. I was just a great day of meeting people today, and I was talking to her. I said the podcast. I enjoy this. I love having conversations, but it's allowed me to meet so many people and have great conversations and learn about people and like that I've never met, but like I never would have guessed Julie White was from Indiana and never would have known, but having her on the podcast was great because I feel like you just get to meet so many great people and connect with them.
And you get to
Yeah.
know them in a different, because
way different level.
This is so comfortable. I could stay here all night, but
yeah.
my dog, my child is probably. She probably is clamoring like, "Mom, where are you? Let me out."
Well, Becca said this was great. Looking forward to the next one. Well, on that note,
Thanks, Becca.
well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
this was
having me.
amazing. Oh my gosh, thanks for coming. This is awesome. This is our first Uncut. We will be back next month. Our next guests are, I don't know. I think it might be.
You really don't know?
No, I think it's going to be Jake Wilson and Brandon Mason, I
Fun.
think.
Oh, that's right.
I think that's number
That's gonna be
two. But
fun.
our very first one was Mayor Victoria Woodards. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody.
That's it.
Have a great evening.